Hello everybody and welcome back for some weekly VR news, where I recap everything that transpired in the VR industry last week, prepare you for this week's new releases, and then focus in on one major story. This week's episode is absolutely jam-packed, featuring exciting new game announcements, an amazing title releasing on Steam. We have some hardware updates for the Apple headset, a major new enthusiast-level PCVR headset is coming soon, and finally Meta is giving us two major new updates, one of which includes free game trials. Now there are of course links and timestamps to everything I'll be discussing, but before we jump in, this video is sponsored by Kiwi Design, one of my favorite sites for VR accessories. They recently released some new Quest 2 headphones that promise to pack some extra bass and increase your audio experience. They currently have my favorite Quest 2 Elite strap with battery pack, and there's plenty of other accessories like enhanced controller grips, replacement facial covers, link cables, and much more. There's a link down in the description, and don't forget to use discount code Mateo311 for 5% off and to help support this channel. Okay, so let's start this video off with an absolutely amazing game surprise dropping on Steam. Morse Book 2 is now available to PCVR players, and I completely recommend this game to fans of the original title or anyone looking for a VR platformer. And even if you don't fall into either of those categories, it's still an all-around top-notch title that you should at least wishlist and consider picking up on a sale. It originally released on PlayStation VR, then made its way over to the Quest 2, and now we can finally enjoy it in its highest fidelity on PCVR. Even on PlayStation and Quest, this was quite a stunning title, so I am inclined to jump back in and check it out all over again. Now, if you're looking for a brand new horror title to play right before Halloween, we have Fading Light Anti-World releasing today. Fading Light is a horror-themed escape room where you explore a haunted apartment, uncover the eerie mystery of the former resident's disappearance, find the means to escape the creatures haunting this location, and search for batteries to keep your ever-dimming flashlight glowing strong. Its light is the only thing that seems to prevent the evil voice that's following you around from getting ever closer. So if you were looking for a brand new spooky game to try out this season, Fading Light has you covered. But if you prefer your escape rooms to be more humorous, we have a new experience from I Expect You to Die. I Expect You to Die Home Sweet Home is a brand new AR experience. It'll bring the escape room right into your living room. Now, I've already played through this experience and will be covering it on the channel tomorrow in a new video about augmented reality. I recently got to try a lot of new AR experiences, such as the MetaQuest Pro, and right now I am absolutely sold. So don't forget to subscribe and come back tomorrow to check out that video and get some more details. Okay, so next up in new releases is the Tower Defense Iron Guard. Iron Guard has been available on PCVR for quite some time, and it's now making its way onto the Quest, and I personally find this title oddly addictive. While it takes a while before it starts to get challenging, it features an extremely lengthy campaign, fully voice-acted cutscenes, beautiful environments, a large array of perks and weapon upgrades, and just some really fun casual gameplay. This is my favorite VR tower defense title, so if you have any interest in those games, I recommend you pick it up. And our final new release is Morels Homestead. This is a sandbox VR adventure where you'll grow and harvest crops, explore and dig up treasure, trade and sell for new exciting items, and basically just build yourself an amazing homestead. You'll have an array of tools to help you discover new items, like a metal detector to comb the beach with, a shovel for digging up treasure, and you can even spend your time photographing the game's wildlife. Most of VR's sandbox titles revolve around murdering people, so this is a nice chill alternative. Okay, so that is it for new releases, but we do have some game updates and new announcements. First up is a teaser trailer for A Night in the Attic. This puzzle-solving adventure title where you play as Guinevere in a quest to rescue King Arthur. It looks like an overall cute experience, but there's not much to see just yet. Now we also got another teaser trailer for Surgineer. This is a game built on top of Hand Physics Lab, and you'll be performing some pretty hilarious surgical procedures in this clearly zany title. It's reminding me a lot of Surgeon Simulator, just taken to a whole new level. Hand Physics Lab was already a really impressive demo, so I'm really excited to see a game built on top of it. Now we recently got some additional information for the upcoming title Blockstar VR, which is a high production value, reflex challenging block shooter. We're most likely thinking the same thing. That's an interesting combination. You'll pick from a large array of weapons, battle through 40 unique arenas, and take down a motley crew of contestants in this epic tournament. Now, if you're curious to see if this game is for you, there is a demo available on Steam, but for the full package, we're gonna have to wait until sometime in 2023. And finally, VR's biggest MMO, Zenith, gets a new major patch and roadmap. Version 1.2 is coming in the end of November, and it's packed with new features, content updates, and major bug fixes. Soon you'll be able to capture creatures in the wild, summon friendly pets to join you on your quests, experience a brand new introductory storyline, a new early game dungeon, a new raid boss, and experience new agent ranks and promotion rewards. Now, if you want to get some early access to these updates, you can join the alpha on both the Rift and Steam versions of the game simply by going into your store settings and adjusting the version options. Developers Ramen VR have also posted a roadmap, which I will put a link to down in the description. Okay guys, that's it for game updates. Let's move into some hardware news, starting with some less than fantastic information regarding Apple's upcoming VR headset. Now, I do need to mention this is not confirmed and sits squarely in the rumor mill, but supposedly 3 people familiar with this headset stated that Apple's Reality Kit engine will be the only way to develop for this headset. And at the moment, there is only a plan to integrate Unity, but it's not supported just yet. So considering the vast majority of VR experiences are made in either Unreal or Unity, this severely limits the amount of content we should expect to see on this headset. To further hammer home that point, Apple supposedly is not creating controllers, and everything would be hand track based. Internally, the lack of gaming focus is supposedly creating some turmoil, and finally, due to a resurgence of COVID in China, it's possible this product won't ship until sometime in 2023. Overall, this is less than stellar news across the board, and I'm yet to understand the primary use case for the Apple VR headset, but maybe the company will truly surprise us. But speaking of surprises, the Megane X from Shiftfall will be releasing their enthusiast level VR headset by the end of this year, and it supports Steam base station tracking. If you're not familiar with this headset, it features extremely high definition OLED panels in an extremely sleek form factor. It basically looks like a pair of steampunk goggles. Fellow content creator Sebastian from MRTV just recently got some hands-on, and he appears to be impressed with the display. I'll drop a link in the description to his video if you want to look for some more information, but overall this seems like an extremely intriguing new headset. Now, as expected, we're looking at a price tag near or around $1,000, but I'll do my best to get a pair of these and give you guys all the information you're looking for. Okay, so our final stories are all about Meta. For starters, they have a new movement SDK for Unity, so soon developers will be able to easily integrate body, face, and eye tracking into their Unity-based projects. Now, obviously, facial and eye tracking is limited to the Quest Pro, but body tracking will also be available on Quest projects. Now, this is not true-to-life full-body tracking like we get in Steam when using Vive trackers, but rather an estimated body pose based on head and hand posture information. So it's an excellent way to make character poses look more realistic, but it's definitely not a true-to-life representation. But when it comes to facial and eye tracking, though, it'll be much more true-to-life. Facial expressions such as smiling, frowning, or sticking your tongue out can easily be interpreted and represented on your VR avatar, and we'll get a similar experience from eye tracking, allowing our in-game pupils to properly follow our gaze, and I'll finally get to wink at people when I say, "How you doing?" Jokes aside, these are some cool first steps to creating some much more realistic VR characters. My only concern with these SDKs is it will force more applications to only be on Meta's Quest platform. So if you build your game utilizing these tools, it just won't translate to PlayStation VR or Steam VR. And while I want the highest quality possible for my games, and for things to be easier on VR developers, I also want what's best for consumers, and that's usually competition. But while we're talking about things that are good for consumers, Meta has announced that developers will soon be able to make their titles available for a free trial of up to 30 minutes. So without the need of making a standalone demo app, developers can opt into free trials, which will allow gamers to experience anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes of this title. At the 5 minutes remaining mark, you'll get a pop-up stating that the trial is about to end, and you'll be given the opportunity to purchase the game right there. Now, in true Meta fashion, this won't be available to App Lab applications or PCVR games. And at the same time, we already sort of have an even better trial system, which is the no questions asked 2-hour refund policy. If you're unaware, you can refund any Quest title that you've purchased within the last 14 days and have not played for more than 120 minutes. The only major difference here is you have to pay up front and then file a refund. A trial process streamlines this and makes things a little bit easier on the user. And also making things easier on the user are new gift cards. That's right, just like Steam, PlayStation, Xbox will now finally have some Meta gift cards. Cards will be available in $15, $25, and $50 quantities, and this is absolutely fantastic timing on Meta's part with the holiday season fast approaching. I'll definitely pick up a bunch of these to give out before the end of the year in some sort of contest or giveaway for this channel, and that was this week's new VR news. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, and as always, I'll see you guys on next time.